In your early days of working with PHP, you'll probably come across parse or syntax errors more often than any other type of problem. Let's start by fixing the error in blank.php from the previous video. I've copied the file into the chapter 8 08_03 folder of the exercise files. Display errors isn't turned off in this folder, so let's load this file into a browser to see if we get an error message. And there is the error message. It confirms that it's a parse error, a syntax error. Unexpected slartibartfast, expecting a closing square bracket in this file on line 2. Well, I suppose slartibartfast would always be a bit unexpected, but let's go back to the editing program to see what we can do. So there we are on line 2, and there is slartibartfast. And actually, after slartibartfast, there is a closing square bracket. But this being unexpected indicates that the problem lies before slartibartfast. And if we go back a little bit, indeed, there we are. There is a missing closing quote after Marvin. And as soon as I put in that missing quote, my editing program changes color. It's indicating that it's a lot happier with the syntax of this file. So let's save that and reload it in the browser, and everything is now working. So let's take a look at some other problems. Go back to the editing program, and I'm going to open parse_01.php, which you can also find in the exercise files for this video. Let's load this into a browser and see what the error message is. Again, it's a parse error, syntax error, unexpected closing curly brace, expecting a comma or a semicolon in this file on line 20. So let's go back to the editing program, and there is line 20, and we do in fact have a closing curly brace, but that was what was unexpected. Now normally you would think that if PHP says the problem is on line 20, that's where to look. It's not usually the case. Normally what PHP will do is it will tell you that something was unexpected. In other words, something is missing before that point. That's where the error lies. And if we go back and look here on the previous line, there's no semicolon at the end of that PHP command, echo. So if we put the semicolon in there, save, and then reload the page in the browser, everything works fine. Missing out the semicolon at the end of a line is probably one of the most common beginner mistakes in PHP. It's important to remember that the semicolon is mandatory in PHP. It's not like JavaScript, where you can leave it out. So we've fixed that problem. Let's go back to the editing program and move to this other file, parse_02.php, and let's load this one into a browser. Again, it's a parse error and unexpected end of file on line 22. Let's go and have a look at that. And line 22 isn't even PHP. It's the closing HTML tag. What this means is that something is missing from the PHP code, and the PHP engine has gone all the way down to the end of the page trying to find it. When you get this error, it almost certainly means a closing curly brace is missing. And in fact, there's only one pair of curly braces on this page. It's here in the for each loop that begins on line 16, and I've missed out the closing curly brace. So if we put the closing curly brace in there and then save, reload in the browser, everything works fine. So parse errors are a major headache for beginners. That's why it's a good idea to choose a script editor that highlights syntax errors for you. I'm using a paid-for script editor, but even free ones will usually pick up syntax errors if they support PHP. The point to remember about parse errors is that the error is rarely on the same line as the one indicated in the PHP error message. The line number tells you where something unexpected was found. Forgetting the semicolon at the end of a PHP statement is one of the most common causes of parse errors. Also look out for any punctuation, such as curly braces, brackets, parentheses and quotes. They should all be in pairs. If you don't have a matching pair, you'll get a parse error.